It looks like an absolute war zone out here. It's pretty unbelievable. Everything's pretty weighted down with the ice. Here she is. I did have her out this morning for quite a while. I did take a huge tree branch off the front of the car. There was a few different spots where there was wood just kind of frozen to the front. You can even see it in the canard there. Whatever hit me with a pretty substantial force. Everything was coated in ice, at least a quarter-inch of ice. A lot of it's melted off now because the car was out running, so it's just kind of thawed over the course of the day. But as you can tell, it was a pretty drastic morning. Had to go get gas. Took me almost 5 minutes to get this little wall up here open and get the ice off it enough that I could get it open and closed. And I was just breaking off ice at the gas station. As you can tell, the trunk is pretty frozen solid. The hood will open now, so that's a good thing. Wiper blades, obviously I free them up before I drive and I make sure they're all flexy, but you can see the amount of ice on them is pretty crazy. Oh, what a day. So I thought I'd come out here, check my dash cam footage. I leave the tow hook in all winter, and I get asked a lot why I leave it in all winter. I want you to imagine the little threaded hole in the front crash bar being filled with ice and then needing it. Well, that's not going to happen. Now, tow hook, she's always in case I need it. And one of those things, if it's ready for when you need it, you're probably never going to need it. And I'd prefer to never have to use it. You can see the mirrors there. They almost look like they have like a bit of a glow to them. It's pretty insane what these vehicles have to go through and what the testing goes through. Even covered in ice, the button still works. I absolutely love going into my Blackview via Wi-Fi and watching it transfer files in HD. Oh, this is the best experience ever, and I do it all the time. Beautiful, thank you. I've been in a bit of a unique situation lately where I get to see these cars every day. I get to see them brand new coming off the truck now and see them sitting in the showrooms, and I get the pleasure of selling people their dream cars, things that they're either young and doing it like I did, or they're older and living out some dreams that they've always desired to own one, and now they are. But I've been in a lot of discussions lately with people about what makes a car great, what and why, and GM gets a lot of flack for not being super futuristic with their designs. They don't take huge risks. They don't put 900 horsepower cars out that you can only drive on the best of days. And I wanted to talk today about the best cars on the road. And the best cars on the road aren't the most expensive or the most exotic or the fastest. It's the ones that get you home. Because at the end of the day, a vehicle has one job. I bought this car because it had one job. It had to get me from my house to my job and back. It doesn't matter if it's monsoons. It doesn't matter if it's unbelievable ice. It doesn't matter if it's 110 degrees Fahrenheit. The car has to run, perform, and get me home. And this old school LS block technology that GM runs gets you home. The term LS swap everything is because you can make great power reliably for a fraction of the cost and get home. You watch Cletus McFarlane. He builds these 1,200 horsepower cars like Ruby that he drives to the track, races doing 8s all day with a variety of drivers, and then drives it home. The best cars are the ones that get you home, not the ones that take the most risk or light on fire. Like, I would rather my car never light on fire and I have to live through that, like Salamandrin's Senna, or many, many, many cars that have lit on fire. Even down to American stuff, the Shelby GT350 lighting on fire. If I was going to a track day or something and my car lit on fire, I'd be a little upset. It just is what it is. I don't want to have to live through that. So foot's resting on the throttle there a little bit. So I would rather buy something that's a little more old school and time-tested, proven, and maybe a little safe, I'm still fast. It's still luxurious and comfortable, and I've been commuting in this like I've never commuted in it before, and it is an amazing place to spend your time. Fuel economy is great, heated, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, a booming sound system. I mean, this is the ultimate car. I get home, I have a great time point A to point B, regardless of weather, intent. I mean, I do spirited driving, I do boring, lame traffic driving, I do everything. So I find it really interesting, and I do respect all the brands and what they can achieve, but at the end of the day, if models are just horribly unreliable, I have no interest in owning them, and I have no interest in companies that I enjoy pursuing their direction. Like they're talking about going to the flat plane crank the V8 in the Corvette coming up. I mean, maybe that's not the best decision, because you're talking higher RPMs, you're talking heat and wear and everything else. I mean, everything has a cost and everything has a trade-off. So maybe just sticking to what they have, maybe putting a turbo or two on, doing some electric motors, and just keeping it simple. Sometimes I find we're getting into an era where everything is so complicated and so far to the edge that, God forbid, you just kept it simple and made something that worked and people could enjoy, it would just never be successful. Well, I don't agree with that at all. And that's one of the main things I love about this Camaro. Isn't that it's the best at anything, it's that it does everything really, really well. And as the footage I'm going to show you at the end of this, of me driving around in some crazy weather, this car just never bats an eye. As long as you are a confident driver, this thing will take you anywhere you need to go. And that's it. We should applaud the simple and the reliable and the arriving home in one piece safely, because it does matter at the end of the day. It's my 2 cents. Till next time, guys, drive safe, take care, and behave, as always.